Two people who have passed away in January 2026, right after giving their gratitudes. I want to show you those particular two videos, and one of them is from South Africa, the other is from Nigeria, from two different religions. The lady is from Islam and the gentleman is a Christian. He was a pastor. He announced that they were going to have their first Sunday of 2026, and as he did so, that would be the last service he would have. A Twitter page made a post about a young lady who is a Muslim who went to give gratitude to her bosses at the office and so forth, and address situations pertaining her and her colleagues, and give gratitude. And immediately on the video, she was not sick. Out just like that. And those are the two videos that I want to play for you guys, and then I want us to have a conversation. It's the Reality Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes done today, they'll be down in the pinned comments, and I'm going to check you over there. Let's start first with the pastor and his message.
To my wife, I want to say thank you. You are one of the best decisions I've ever made on this planet, apart from choosing Jesus. One of the best decisions I've ever made. And to my mother and my family members, thank you for being patient with me, because the journey has not been easy. I was irritable, all these things, and you showed me such great love. To my father in the Lord, you played a greater role than a father in the Lord. You were a biological father. You showed me unconditional love from start to finish. Even today, you are still checking up on me, so I'm so grateful. To brothers, to church people, to everybody who stood with me and continues standing with me. If I had enough money, I'd buy all of you cars, but really, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really grateful, and may the Lord increase you, and may what you have given me be also what other people give to you.
And so that would be the video that we would see come out with a sad message that he had passed. And so this was the first one that I wanted to show you guys. He gives gratitude because I think particularly around this particular period, he had lost his legs and so forth. And so that's what you're hearing him talking about the people who were around him during this period. Then January starts, they announced the first service and did that, and then he passed away very recently, I think the 5th or so. Now this takes me to the second video. The second video, just about the same. The young lady has a situation arise between her and her colleagues, and so now she went over there to show gratitude and also to communicate to the people that she works with.
I want to sincerely appreciate you, sir, for your exemplary leadership and for your commitment towards the progress of social services. And I personally want to thank you for, believing in me and dragging me out of my comfort zone. I am appreciating you, sir, because I have learned a lot of things. I believe things that I didn't believe I'll be able to do. You made me do it. I want to sincerely appreciate you, sir.
Those of boy was shy. You wouldn't want to support us. I found that out on but you also benefited from it because.
And that was it. You can go and see the video on TikTok, on Twitter. That's pretty much how she ends it. They say she wasn't sick, nothing. She just said her gratitude to her colleagues and also her bosses over at the workplace, and she collapsed. Someone even mentioned on Twitter and said, I've never seen a person healthy just completely go like that. Nothing happened, nothing. They didn't get sick, they were not ill, nothing. They just collapsed out of nowhere. This particular individual was expressing this shock, basically, after seeing the clip or seeing the video, and I think the person was also a Muslim, as it was shown in thing. You see, there is a quotation that comes from Twitter, from a TV show, actually, called The Twilight Zone, where it talks about death, particularly when it pertains towards a man's life. And he says, each and every single one of us is appointed a day when he will pass, but the way in which he lives, that he doesn't know. And so people have all kinds of people can plan all kinds of things, but that's the one thing you are not permitted to plan. That's the one thing you are not given access to plan. So what is left? What's left? If I can't, the one of the most important things that highlights my life and how I interacted with everybody, whether you are both as individuals, you interacted with them, whether yes, they come from different faiths, but gratitude both seen in both of them, and each one pass right after that. What is it that exemplifies your life? The pastor says, one of the most important decisions being his wife, and he says, after Jesus. He reckons that particular decision kind of like gives all these other ones direction. It kind of points it out. It gives it a different way of moving, going forward. There are people that have vowed hatred, bitterness, bitterness in a state in which I can't even state on this show. There are people who have vowed destruction for other people from their own hands. Maybe they are terrorists or what. There are people who have vowed that. There are people who have vowed to hate their ex-husband, or there are people who have vowed to hate their employers, and there are people who have vowed a certain thing. They've told themselves, this person, if I was to live to become God, if I lived to become God, this person will never see good in their life. They've vowed it in their heart. Now, why do I ask that question? Because there are people now who have vowed it in their lips that they will shun God at every turn. That's what they have vowed. They have vowed to fight God who is not fighting them. As a result of not liking Christianity, they will be fighting God. There are people who have vowed in their heart to make every means of dismissing everything that their parents believed because they didn't like it or something like that. One of the biggest problems we are having in South Africa right now is exactly that. Is that parents were Christians, not very much knowledgeable about the scripture, just basic stuff. Come to Jesus and that's about it. But then, in this model of religious belief or religious living, it built in them a hatred for truth. It built in them a hatred for scriptures. People that hate the Bible, they hate it like they could have sworn it to you. Why they do not derive any pleasure from the scriptures as their parents might have. But they vowed to fight that faith. What is it that marks you? Because you see, like right now on TikTok, it's exactly what's happening. It's this war of people just fighting religion or whatever belief systems they had before. They tend to Pan-African beliefs or believing in agnostic ideologies and stuff like that. And then the funny thing is, the very people that say that there is no God then spend their entire life trying to evangelize and make others believe that there is no God. If there isn't a God, why have you spent your entire life staked out to fighting what you say is not there? Doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense. There is no ghost. So I don't spend my entire life I don't spend my entire life fighting ghosts. It's not there. It's not there. You know, there is no Harry Potter. There are witches. There is no Harry Potter. I don't spend my life fighting Harry Potter. So, but you have vowed it to fight a God. You say it does not exist. So what are you fighting exactly? That tells you there is something. There is an area of fear in case I'm wrong. So that person has become no different than the devil, as the devil. They are no different. And why do I say they are not different? They are not different because, guess what? The devil who has vowed to disobedience to God, guess what his job is? Is to cause others to disbelieve. And he fights others to disbelieve. He fights deception, seeking that others should disbelieve. And I find it funny that that's your agenda. Point. What is it that points out your life? Is it the gratitude? Will we remember you for gratitude? Will we remember you for fighting a God who's not fighting you? What will we remember you for? At the end of the day, there is a memory. And what is it that highlights? What truth highlights your life? What truth highlights your life? If you were to say like the pastor, it's one of the best decisions I've made, what would one of those decisions you have made be? So there are people, 3-4 years later, they say, no, I don't care, I'm a nice person, I'm a wonderful, lovely person. But you've been stuck 4-5 years, you're still fighting the same thing. You find a person has maybe had friends or something like that, they're still fighting the friends who that they were fighting 5 years ago. Why? Because they have vowed the wrong thing. So that's the only thing we'll remember you for the vow you made contrary to peace. Because when we cross over, you see, for both these individuals, what we remember are those moments. For the lady, for the pastor, that's what we remember. We remember this, that they represented the most important thing for them at that moment. Gratitude. What is it that exemplifies your life? Ricky, other episodes that will be done. Is it fight? You left your house with fight. The last thing that you remember when you exited the door, was it a fight? The last thing you remember when you left your workplace, was a fight? The last thing you remember before you entered your house, when you came from the road, was a road rage. We can't remember you for reconciliation. We only remember you for the hate and bitterness that you carried. Some people, they fight apartheid so much that they are still fighting apartheid which is not there. Till date. It's like they are fighting apartheid as if they wish they were there in apartheid so that they could have done something about it. It's like the way they fight it. It's not that they are fighting a system that is past. They are fighting as if it's current. Why? That's what exemplifies their life. The bitter hate or feeling as if they could have done something. As those news of apartheid pass, so shall your memory. Social your memory. What should we remember you for? What's the last experience that people get from you? Zuriki, other episodes don't need to be down in the pinned comments. If you haven't seen them, check it. You'll find them down there. What will be the last thing we remember from you?